justice, whether it's now, then, or whatever the case may be. That's the only thing that I have to hold on to. And I'll be completely honest. That and the snippet of the goodness of the world of the cops that I do know that are going out into the communities when they don't have a uniform on, that are getting to know the communities, that are given insight, that are, I would say, give pointers on not to die, but there's no, no one can give you pointers on how to live through a transaction with police or anybody else that is racist or doesn't like who you are. There's no way to prepare anybody for that, because 9 times out of 10, justice is not served, which is unfortunate. And I made the statement before, and I'm standing by that. Please forgive me for this, but Michael Vick got more time for killing dogs than people got for taking African American men's life. And to me, that's sick. That's really sick. And I love animals, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, to me, that's unfair and that's very unjust. So I think we need to hold each other accountable, have uncomfortable conversations, have police relations, go out in the community, get to know these people, because everybody is not the same. Just like every nationality is not the same. You can't judge African American men. And then people wonder why they have a chip on their shoulder. As an African American woman, I got to witness what my dad had to go through every day he walked out the door. And it's like, you're on high alert, you're tense, you have an anxiety, and you're expected to have a smile. And it's like, that's a hard way to live as a Black man. That's hard. For me, that's hard. But again, my dad was a very spiritual person, and he loved God, and he loved coming together. People, he had all races of friends. He had ex-skinhead friends. He had surfer friends. He was an advocate swimmer. A lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, for me, I just have a lot of holes that are in the system that is not fair for African American, for human life. So it's like, if we could, and then he posed the question, and a lot of people say it was a statement, can we get along? It was actually a question. And he was asking America, can we get along? Can we stop making it hard? You know what I mean? Because it's like, everybody's upset about the looting. Everybody's upset about the violence. And again, I don't agree with that, but I understand what it's like to come from a hurting place and to be unheard. So it's like, what else do you do? Especially us of spiritual beings, we're crying out for help to God, but at the same time, we're human too. So I just ask people to look at people as human beings, and not how they don't even look at us as I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just in disbelief. It's sad that we have to keep watching the same thing. And it's like, I feel like personally, they're trying to make us as a community, they're trying to make us normalize this. And that's not fair. That's not fair. No one should have.
That can't be tolerated. First of all,
I think it should be a sense of urgency.
Thank you for your grace under pressure. First of all, I appreciate your total honesty in every way. How could your heart not be hardened by those experiences? And yet I see you, as you say it, even open your heart more. And you said one of the, I think, key ingredients here, which is we have to have an experience of each other, as opposed to the generalizations that have been made that dehumanize us. And your experience with these police officers, as well as just your spiritual base, obviously is what has kept you through this and found a way to find balance in the middle of insanity. I'm curious, you mentioned the police officers. I think that's when we go to Daryl Davis a little bit later, he's going to share how he turned around Ku Klux Klansmen. It just sounds impossible, but it was really, as he'll describe, the ability to build a relationship where you start to relate to someone as a human being instead of all the human brain distorts, deletes, and generalizes. We do that to make decisions more quickly. So we're cognitive misers. And so then you get conditioning, and people aren't born racist. They're brought up in a certain way, and they start to get conditioned and reinforced. But all conditioned behavior can be deconditioned and changed. And it's time for that as a society, as you well know.
Absolutely.
What can you tell us about Officer Gomez, for example, and what's unique about him that's touched your heart? Because when we were talking back and forth, you said, that he's really touched your heart. You hate seeing what he's going through. There are people that are judging him as a white man, as a police officer, instantly as a racist.
Sure. And I met him before. I was good friends. Well, I'm still good friends with his wife, who's happened to be an African-American female. When I was in school, when I was in college, I took a Black history course, and he was one of the students like me, as well as his wife. And I've always admired him because he was his demeanor was very mild mannered, really cool guy, really cool guy. I would have never thought he would become a police officer, not in a million years. I was still friends with his wife, and later on down the line they became married, had kids, and then he became a police officer, which was shocking to me. But then again, as time went on, it just made me have an understanding again from a human aspect, and I know him personally, so that's what helped me have a little bit of faith, because I'm like, I know what he does when he doesn't have the uniform on. Then he has interracial kids, so
Yes.
it's unfortunate. And from the outside looking in, he just looks like, of course, he's not black. So it's like he gets crap. I just think it's sad that his kids have to, it's like it's flipped. Like he knows what it's like to be black. I don't mean to reference that, but to get to understand it. So he's at work and the looters are on him, and it's just like his son is asking my friend every night, like, is our dad going to get killed? Is he going to make it home? To me, that's sad, because I know who he is at the core, but America doesn't. And we shouldn't be here, because it's like, that's not his fault. That's the higher authority. And it's like, I feel like they just do minimum and then they send them out there to just fend for themselves. And it's like, well, what about the guys that are not killing? What about the guys that are good in uniform? So it's really unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate. But he's a great guy. I know it was hard for him to join us, because I know that he's going through so much as well. So I just commend him for coming today. Like, I know it was tough for him and his family.
And he's working 12 and 14-hour shifts around the clock trying to protect us all, right? And it's I really appreciate you sharing that, because we all judge people, we all make judgments. It's the way the human brain functions, but we have to fight that. That might be how we're conditioned. That might be the survival brain. We're tribal. We've been tribal about politics, we're tribal about religion, we're tribal about color and race. But we're more than tribal. We're humane. We're human. We have a spirit and soul that goes beyond that 2 million-year-old brain that's always looking for what to fight or flight or freeze. And it's up to us to raise that consciousness. And you're extremely humble, Laura, because I know how hard you work to help in this area. You make it sound like you're barely managing it when you're doing amazing work. I really want to thank you. And I'm excited to hear the full message with everyone. Let's roll the video, if we may, please.
Good morning. How you doing? My name is AJ Gomez, and I want to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to answer some of these questions that I've been asked. Sorry I couldn't do it in the desired time frame or have this open dialogue and discussion live. Why did I want to be a police officer? What drove me to be a police officer in the first place? What is my why? And to be honest, that has changed over the years. I've been a police officer for 11 years. But what